Well, there we go. That's a little better. Let's turn it. That's not too bad. Make sure you guys can see me. You're not going to get beat up by that glare too much. That'll work. So, good morning. Do all right. So, that being said, I'm going to light some incense here and wait for people to show up. All right. All right. So, that being said, good morning. Welcome back to Paranormal Witchcraft LLC, and welcome back to Paranormal Laboratory. This is theory number 7. So, welcome back to the Paranormal Laboratory series. I am Tobias Josephson, and we are Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. This is where we approach the paranormal differently, and we investigate a little bit differently than everybody else. This series exists to slow paranormal investigations down and ask the questions that most investigators avoid asking. Today's question is simple but uncomfortable. I left it up top in the chat. Does our human emotions as investigators accidentally affect our investigations? Watch this carefully. Something important happens in almost every paranormal investigation.
Yes.
And most investigators completely miss it or don't look at it at all. Almost every investigation follows the same pattern. Investigators arrive calm, equipment is set up, questions begin, and nothing happens. Then investigators start escalating, voices get louder, emotions might increase, excitement rises, and suddenly devices like this behind me begin reacting. And excitement just goes through the roof, right? This thing starts talking, everybody gets excited, and there you have it. So, it's not the one I want. One is opened. This is vampire blood. This one's empty. That's why. So let's open this new one together. Good morning, whoever you are. So, suddenly devices begin reacting. Notice the pattern that's forming here. Good morning in the crowd there, whoever you may be, because this is where paranormal investigations will usually go wrong. This is the turning point. The moment emotional intensity enters the environment. Think about this for 1 second. Why do paranormal devices often activate after investigators become emotionally charged? That's a great question. And that is what we are here to answer with our theory and our experiments. So bear with us. Good morning. If you're just tuning in, thank you to the new subscribers last night. So this is called Vampire's Blood. Who do we have in the crowd? Oh, wow. How are you, dear? Okay, well, he or they are not in a good mood. So that's usually the turning point, the moment that emotional intensity enters the investigation. It is all over. Thank you for the thumbs up. How are you? I did take down last night's live stream. I did not like the fact that my temper got away from me near the end, and since I don't know enough about editing yet, I just took it down. Other than that, it was phenomenal. This guy was chatting left and right. I took it down because, my temper is not something that is a professional thing, and though I'm human and it should be all right, to me it is not. And so uh, it was pretty much like the other experimental live streams with the Epoch box. But I was not happy the way I carried myself toward the end, so I took it down. I'd rather take it down than leave it up. So let's think about this for a second. This is the turning point, the moment when our emotions and or our personal intensity starts entering the environment, and then things start shifting. Why do paranormal devices often investigate after investigators become emotionally charged? That's a great question. I'm doing okay. I lost my temper last night in the live towards the Brotherhood, so I deleted it, but I'm beating myself up this morning about it because we actually had 4 stable viewers and it was a nice long session, but I'm still kind of brokenhearted over that. And so my temper got the better of me and I didn't like that. It's nobody's business really, and I should know better. And so I took it down. Why do responses increase when investigators become excited? And why do readings spike when investigators become nervous or intense? Great questions. Great questions. Yeah, we are. We are. But here's the question. Are you a human? We were just talking about humans. Guess not. Um, but here's the question. Yes. Good morning. I'm glad to see you too, my friend. Thank you for the thumbs up top. Well, got more sleep than we did, huh? So here's the question nobody asks. Are investigators detecting paranormal activity, or are paranormal environments reacting to us, the human emotions? You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to have to reprint today's script because I was trying to slide in front of the computer here, which is like this wide, and my leg bumped it. And so, yeah, there goes part of my coffee. We're going to let that dry over there, and I'll just reprint it. Problem solved. Let me have a sip of coffee since I haven't been up very long. You could tell I'm not even sure my hair looks good. So if it looks good, let me know in the comments. That's what I like about blazers is you can throw them on in the morning and you look a little more thrown together than most people. Anyways, our fear, our excitement, our anticipation, and the adrenaline change in this room or in the paranormal investigation location change the environment in measurable ways. Heart rate increases, movement increases. What do you mean heart rate doesn't increase? Yes, it does. Maybe it doesn't increase for you because you're no longer with us, bro. Hi. Heart rate increases, movement increases, electromagnetic fluctuations increase, static electricity changes. This raises a possibility that investigators rarely test. Paranormal devices may not only be responding to the environment, they may also be responding to the emotional energy investigators bring into the room. What if the investigator itself becomes the trigger? What if I become the trigger? Be honest with me. Are investigators documenting activity or emotionally provoking their own reactions? Would your investigation survive scientific scrutiny? Are you searching for the paranormal truth or are you just searching for storytelling and excitement? Okay. Think it lets you bring me. Yep, we're still good. So that's something only you guys can answer. How many investigators actually control their emotional state during investigations? What if investigators are unknowingly influencing their own results? Would you still trust your own evidence if the emotions are affecting your devices? I don't think you would. Most people in the paranormal field avoid this question completely. They just completely try not to answer it, which is exactly why we are testing it tonight. In science, there's. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I'll repeat myself. In science, there's something called environmental influence. Environmental influence. Systems often react to changes introduced by observers. Systems often react to changes introduced by observers. Human emotions change the environment. Temperature, electrical fields, biological no. Biological activity, no. So human emotions change the environment, temperature, electrical fields, biological activity, etc. Our friend here says no, but I disagree. If investigators introduce these variables into the environment, then paranormal measurements may change as a result. And if that is true, then many investigations may be measuring human emotional influence rather than paranormal activity. I'll say that again. And if that is true, then many investigations may be measuring human emotion rather than real paranormal activity. So tonight, we will test that theory. We will run another controlled paranormal experiments using containment over chaos, using escalation, and then using nothing but silence and observation. First, we'll observe the environment under emotional containment, calm, controlled voices, neutral observation, like I have been this entire time, minimal stimulation, only answering when it talks to me. Then we will introduce escalation and chaos tactics, excitement, intensity, direct engagement, getting in its face, etc. And then we will do nothing but silence, just pure observation. We will just sit here like so for 30 seconds. Thank you for answering, but you interrupted the 30 seconds. So you get the idea, though. And the idea is if we get engagement like that when we're not talking, okay, that will show us a pattern. If we get engagement during all three, etc., etc., etc. So then we just observe quietly. And by doing that, we're observing whether paranormal devices respond differently or if our emotional escalation, number two experiment, is the one really producing stronger reactions or not. Then the field has a serious methodological problem. Not with spirits, but with investigation methods. Tonight we test something simple, measurable, and rarely examined. Do paranormal environments respond to spirits or to your human emotion itself? So if you're curious, come back at 8 p.m. as the Paranormal Laboratory continues. I'm going to set that aside so I don't forget to print that out. So, that being said, thank you for tuning in, Nikki. Well, in direct response to what you said above, is that we are still human and we lose our tempers, etc. Notice how we have nobody in here this morning. All right. It shows me how many people out there judge people based on what they see you as. And they make an immediate assumption on what they think they know about your personality. There's two or three people who should be in here right now that aren't. And it's the fact that they don't have the guts to tell me that something was wrong. That bothers me. Because they don't have the guts like me and you to go, hey, I didn't like that. But instead, what they did is boycott this live. That's called shallow. Right? So that's not going to ruin my day, Nikki, but I can call those people out by name. No. And I won't. But it happens a lot. Okay? It just doesn't happen as much here, and that's why I'm happier here. All right. Those people come back tonight, great. If they don't, well, then I know that they can't handle realism. They can't handle people having a moment of weakness, nothing. and they're going to make nothing but excuses and reasons, blah, blah, blah. So that does not bother me. We both have plenty experience in that. So, anyways, I'm looking forward to tonight. We'll be using a completely different device, I believe. All right. But our friend here, I'm going to take him down, has been most instrumental in talking with us over the last 4 nights. Do you want to say anything to the crowd here this morning? You were here last night. You thought I did pretty good, huh? I thought I did pretty good too. So remember, this side is yes if it has something positive to say. This side is negative and it'll say no if it has nothing good to say. So, my friend, let's see if we can't figure out who you are for another 10 minutes or so.
No, no.
You don't want us to figure out who you are or what you are or what you could be? No? Am I affecting you directly by touching you? No? I'm going to set you down here because I think people really like you. I think people would like you to talk a little more. You're not going to stand up for that. But I don't think you want to talk a little more today, do you? So you're not a human. Now, this device here, or whatever's communicating to us through this device, has told me that it does like me. I have gotten kind of a confirmation that it's not a human. We thought last night it might be a servitor, etc. But whatever it is, it's kind of shy. So I think it's a friendly energy nonetheless. Um, I don't think it's me affecting it. I'm touching it now, and my emotions are calm and they're stable. But the point with the live is, thank you for jumping off the candle.
No, no.
I know you fell. Thank you for falling off the candle. But what I love about this device is that so many people really do like when it does react to you. I think I'm going to get it to do what I want it to do without turning.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I will do that. So, yes, what? Yes, you're having a good day. Yes, you're a friendly energy. Do you think emotions can affect a ghost hunt? Do you think emotions could affect the equipment like you that you're trying to communicate through, nonetheless, anyways? You don't know that entity. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It irritates me for the fact that it shows me how many people don't realize how fake they are. They call it personal boundaries, etc. But you can't call that everywhere you go. That's just saying you can't get comfortable with confrontation, is what that's really saying. So you just hide in a bubble. And you can hide in a bubble, but life's going to pass you by pretty quick. Um, so I've asked it if it's a human. It will not answer. I've asked it if it's demon. It has said no. Every time we bring up the escalation experiment, especially, it usually says no, no, no.
No.
See that? So you don't like the escalation and chaos. Do you prefer the containment over chaos? Do you prefer the silence and nothing but observation? Dark Light is going to ask, let's see. For those watching, my friend is able to communicate with the spiritual realm. I'd be curious to see the answer. But in the meantime, friend, we're going to shut down here in a few minutes, probably about 4.5 minutes or so. I'm going to keep this about 30 minutes in length. We just wanted to know if you had anything you wanted to add to this conversation. Since you are in the crowd, per se, whoops, not sure what I did there. Sorry. Would you like some coffee? No? No need for coffee? I understand. You probably don't sleep very well. Probably don't even have a need for sleep, do you? Well, if you're not going to communicate too much more, I do have a lot of things I would like to accomplish today. Is that all right? No? Indifferent? Maybe not even in the room anymore, huh? Okay. Well, I'm going to close you down for now, okay? So respond or forever hold your peace. All right. We'll talk to you later, my friend. So, that being said, TZ. Cool. So, it's a him, huh? Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in to our guest here. That being said, again, if you liked anything you saw and you are able, tune in tonight at 8 o'clock for laboratory paranormal experiments of the theory we just discussed. Are paranormal investigators accidentally emotionally affecting their own devices? We are Paranormal Witchcraft LLC, and this is where we approach the paranormal differently. Containment over chaos, evidence over egos, and we don't hunt quite like anybody else here. So, that being said, I'm going to shut this down and go have some breakfast. Thank you, my friend, for the encouraging words. I'll get the numbers back up. It just figures that my temper would get the best of me when I have some traction going. And a lot of it is due because the team I picked over there is just kind of not any good. If I had any type of a team, I wouldn't be working 20 hours a day to try to get this channel off the ground completely by myself. And so I'm just going to leave that there. And so, as far as the people who aren't in this live stream, I think I'm just going to stop sharing other people's stuff because that just seems like a fair response to them. So, that being said, I thought this was a great live. I can forgive myself for losing my temper last night, but apparently people out there in the world want to hold that against me, so that's fine. Have yourselves a beautiful afternoon. The sun is coming out, and I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the day and get some business going. Please remember that at the end of the week, Friday after 8 p.m.'s laboratory experiments, I will be taking a week off. All right. And then number two, there is a Patreon members only live, which might be nobody if Chris doesn't show up. So we'll see. But that is at 2 p.m. on Patreon. All right. And the channel is Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. The name of that members live is Paranormal Laboratory Live. So have yourselves a beautiful afternoon, and I will catch you guys at 8 o'clock. Blessings and blessed be. Have a great day, everybody.